Into the thing called the saturators, can get the nose on them all the actual satisfactory, so we are giving it natural. But the girl let me know. No one on here, back it up, 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 back it up. Girl, you someone on my side. Let me know you have it right. Intelligent and you're bright. Baby, oh, you're so nice. I wish they would have think like you and do the research that you do. Some girl I know what they're not chop, but I know you. Girl, I'm out in a full of a do because you know what you want to say. Why not your body from you know me fancy? Them say them have people not and a fancy. Now for them a try to style them and them no say that's it. Understand them try to style but them no own no style yet. Hey, something you sexual before we intellectual. That you ready, my friend, this time I come up and contextual. Back it up again, back it up again, back it up again. That one on you, back it up, 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 evidence, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, evidence, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
Got the lies like alternative facts. Same little pills peddling an impact. Same TV that's virtual crack. What's just acting, there's no going back. Same kind of lie about a terrorist man. Same kind of evil, it's the rise of the clan. Same kind of hatred that built a great wall. Same kind of doom that'll lead to the fall. Back it up, show the evidence, read it, understand, yeah. Know the specimens, back it up, you must understand.
Copy is sexual, but from the intellectual, but you're ready, my business, now I come back to the next one. Back it up again, back it up again, back it up again. Now what are you? Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Evidence, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Evidence, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Evidence, back it up, back it up. Pass up your information before you say anything. Before you say anything, pass up your information before you say anything. Before you say anything, rock it up, 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 rock it up. Rock it up, 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 rock it Yeah, man. Thank you.
What up, what up, what up? Peace, y'all. Welcome to the 6 Degrees podcast, where instead of separation, we choose to focus on the ties that bind, choose to explore the ties that bind and focus on those things that keep us connected. I'm your host, Bel-Ami, as I am each and every Wednesday, right here at 9 p.m. Eastern. Listen, this is the official season finale. I know I said this before, and I took like 2 weeks off, and then I was back. And it's because I was having withdrawal. And to be quite honest, I didn't think it all the way through. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get back in here and keep this thing going. I felt like I was getting some momentum and everything was feeling good. And so we did like a whole nother season's worth of episodes, and we never took a break. But we're going to take a break after this one and share a lot of the other content that we have, because I know you guys have been asking for a lot of it. And anyway, this is the season finale, for real, for real. We're going to take about 2 months off, and we'll be back in July. And tonight I have my brother with me, who is the perfect guest, actually, to end this first season and bridge to the next season, just because of some other connections that are in there that are going to, you know, kind of tie in this first season to the next season. But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get to know more about my brother Misha, aka Silky Savage. But as always, First of all, let me acknowledge Kadre is in the building. So this is an official stream. This is an official show. It's official. It's not official until Kadre is in the building. So he was here early on. I love it. I appreciate you, brother. First question, what's your temperature? Listen, I asked this question because I think it's important we understand what each other's temperature is so we know how to engage one another. And today my temperature is like I don't know, early on it was like a 70. You know what I'm saying? It was nice and it was like a breezy 70. I went to the audiologist today. And for all my musician friends out here, this matters. Went to the audiologist today and she said my hearing is perfect, except high frequencies above 8K on my left side. So that just means I have to mix everything on my right side and then bring it down a little bit. But that made me feel good. Like as a musician, to know your hearing is perfect, I'm good. Now, if the music doesn't sound good, it's really something that I did wrong. It's not because I'm hearing it incorrectly. I'm like actually hearing it the way it's supposed to be. So anyway, I'm good. I'm at like a 70. And today, look, season finale. It's so many things going on. Season finale. I got my brother here, and it's Cinco de Mayo, which we've changed to Cinco de Savage just for him. You didn't know that we could change holidays here on the 6 Degrees podcast, but we can actually do that. We have the power. Anyway, without saying more, my next guest, man, he's the band leader for the Saturators. It's that lovely tune that you heard, Back It Up, ahead of this. Band leader for the Saturators, producer and guitarist, and maybe even vocalist at some point for the Herbivores. He's a teacher as well, so we appreciated him a couple days ago. Misha, give me a thumbs up if you're ready, brother. Awesome. He's ready. Next season, I promise we're going to have an applause machine, or at least a sound for the applause and something else to make it really, really special for my guests. But without further ado, my brother, the one and only Misha Silky Savage.
Hey, Amir, Bel-Ami, Bubala. It's good to be here.
Well, I must say, of all my guests, bro, you have the best setup.
The Silk Studios, as you can see behind me, is a self-contained facility. So, you know how we do over here.
Hey, man.
I know you wanted some applause. Can you hear this? We getting any of that?
Nah, not coming through.
Well,
we'll work it out. You need to talk to me offline. Let me I can work out an applause situation here.
Yes. Well,
that through Ableton or something. Is that how it's coming?
I have it running through Machina, so I have it like a little soundboard. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What are you gonna do?
Dig it. Hey man, first question I always ask, man, what's your temperature?
I'm about like a 54. I'm
4. Okay.
Soggy today. My roommate left the windows open, so I'm cold. People don't know this about me. I'm a lizard, so like I want it to be sweltering all the time.
Gotcha. Do the QAnon people know that you're a lizard?
Well, if they didn't before, they know now.
I'm sure if it's their narrative. Anyway, man, look, it's good to have you here. And listen, I always ask people outside of what's your temperature. And first of all, let me just say this. It's interesting because 54, I would think completely different about 54. I would see 54 as like not necessarily soggy sounding. 54 it's an odd temperature. There's nothing great about 54. But 54 is like a day where it's like I'm miserable because 54 is like I don't know. It's like too cold to not have layers on, but at the same time, it's like, especially here in New York, 54. It's like warm enough for you to be mad that it's not warmer.
Yes, exactly. But in Minnesota, that's shorts weather. So.
Oh yeah. I guess it all depends on where you are. Listen, speaking of where we are, I know we got people in the chat from everywhere. We got Houston in the building. I seen Brooklyn. We got Compton in the building. Eric Lewis, of course, Compton's finest bass player. Kadre says his temperature is 69 degrees due to the fan currently blowing the air on me. Okay. I guess that's more of a literal thing. And then now tomorrow, depending on how things go, temperature might stay cooler, it might rise to 80. You're right, bro.
Woo!
I don't miss that car struggle. Bro, I was just in Houston for a month and I had to drive everywhere. And like, it was exhausting. Like, it really was legit exhausting.
What kind of car do you drive? Like, what's your whip when you're home?
When I was home recently, I was driving my cousin's RAV4. And it was nice. It was a nice ride. It was really good on gas. I love that.
Really?
Oh, my God. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like, it was absolutely amazing. But, and then my mom has an Altima. Ooh. So I was riding in one of those two the whole time.
I growing up, I used to have, we called it the Green Machine. It was a massive, like, Chevy Tahoe. You could fit like too many kids trying to have too much fun in there, and a couple of like massive guitar amps. So nice. that was the whip back in the day.
Dope. Listen, before we go any further, I'd just like to remind you, wherever you are watching this, first of all, thank you for joining us. And then secondly, just take a quick second, just pause for the cause and make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that like button below. It helps the video get out to more people. You know how these algorithms work. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever we go live. And yeah, let's get into it, bro, because we got a lot to talk about, man. And I'm really hoping that we get to everything. But even if we don't, look, we're just gonna have to have you back.
Oh yeah.
What do you remember about how we met?
What do I remember about how we met? So we met, and I could be wrong about this, but my memory of us meeting is this was my like first couple of like months in New York. I started to throw this jam session in Harlem called Funkaholics Anonymous. And you showed up one night and you sang and it was great. And it was like, great, let's exchange numbers. And, it was one of those things where we didn't know each other. And I was just trying to make like contacts in New York. And you just happened to be there. I got your information and we stayed in touch. And I think the next time might have been, so it was Funkaholics Anonymous at Silvana in Harlem.
When was that? What year was that?
Oh God, you're gonna make me sound old. I want to say it was 2015. I want to say.
Okay.
6 years ago.
Yeah. Because I remember meeting you before I moved here. And yeah, I met you before I moved here. And so when I saw you again, I was like, oh, I know that guy. And it's because of the furs, man. You always have the furs. Which is why I was like, yo, for this episode, we have to have a picture of Misha in the fur. We'll talk about the furs later. So yeah. So I met you at Silvana. I definitely recall that. And then I would just like see you around. That's kind of how New York is, right?
Yep. Just people around.
I remember running into you at Arlene's Grocery. And that was a moment where I was like, oh, I know this guy. I can talk to this person. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see somebody a couple times and you don't really know them, but you're like, I know this person well enough to have a conversation and then be familiar.
Right. It's like, hey, you, didn't I see you at, that's the classic
thing on that.
Yes. That, the funny thing about that is like that whole jam session scene was how sort of all of us kind of were able to commingle. I think that's actually probably, I saw Red there before we knew each other. I just saw him as a character,
That's a great word.
Yes. Oh God, the jam session days. Woof.
Red was the character there. Absolutely. Yo, man. So look, I wanna really get into just kind of like how'd you get here, man? Because you kind of alluded to it in the promo thing. You know, a lot of people who may watch this podcast or who know you because of Herbivores, but they don't really know you, you know, and just personally, like we have a great relationship. We just can go days on things outside of music, just on life, and just like we have these insane conversations that seemingly last forever. And but you're just a well-rounded dude. You just have a good heart for people.
Ugh.
Your energy is amazing, and I want people to see like the other sides of you. And
You're gonna make me blush on this podcast, man.
Good. That's the point. Just get these roses right quick. How'd you get into the music, man?
Oh, that's how far back do you want me to get? You want me to go all the way, or how far back do you want me to go?
Give us the abridged version.
Abridged version. I've been playing music since I was about 5. I started on my grandmother's upright piano. My dad played guitar since about 1967. So it was always present in the house. We always had instruments in the house. And when I was, fast forward to when I moved a little, I lived in Hartford, Connecticut. And then when we moved a little closer to the city, probably by, I want to say 6th or 7th grade, I wanted to pick up a guitar. So I got a guitar for my birthday or whatever. And, we had a piano in the house. We had tons of guitars. And then in middle school, when I went to summer camp, I took a couple of guitar lessons. I thought, I'm going to be this cool guitar playing guy. And then in high school, I started to get really into really shred guitar and like heavy metal. I had a heavy metal band back in the day. We did like thrash metal, like Motorhead and Black Sabbath, and did all that stuff. And then towards the end of high school, I got into, I started to get really into jazz and wanted to take music very seriously. So I applied to a bunch of schools and I studied music upstate New York at SUNY New Paltz. And this is where the true essence of what you see today, Silky, was born, probably. Because when I was in high school, I was just this really kind of nutty. I wanted to be like a rock front man. I wanted to be like Robert Plant or something. I had like long flowing locks and stuff, and I wanted to be like a big rock star or whatever. And then in college, I'm studying jazz guitar, and I started dating like a hippie. I had a hippie girlfriend, and she was not so into the heavy metal, I'll admit, but she was really into the funk. And I had been familiar with George Clinton because when I was probably about 14 or 15, I had gone to see P-Funk. My drummer's mom was like kind of nutty, and she took us to go see P-Funk.
How old were you?
I was like 14 or 15.
Wow.
I walk in, they're playing like Flashlight, and they do their Tina Turner routine. They do their dual guitar, maggot brain routine. And, everybody's partying, smoking, drinking, and I was like, wow, what the hell is this?
At 14, I can't imagine, bro.
At 14. And prior to that, really my only exposure to funk is I listened to the Brothers Johnson a couple of times. Just for those of you who don't know, growing up in Connecticut, there's not a ton of exposure to non-white music. To be completely honest, I got nothing, and I didn't have any older brothers that listened to anything else. So I was just listening to like rock and stuff. And then here was here was funk. And so I'll get it back to college. I have this hippie girlfriend. So I started to get really into P-Funk, like unhealthy obsession level, like wanted to be on the mothership, because all of a sudden I was like, holy crap, here's this music that it's got all the trappings of the rock guitar and stuff that I love, but people can dance to it. People can move to it. They can move their bodies. And that was sort of a revelation. And, you know, probably about my junior year of college, I started a funk band, sort of reminiscent of like, I want to say like early 90s Chili Peppers, like freaky styley shit. And if there are some viewers with, it was not my best taste in terms of naming. The name of the band was Balls Deep.
Okay. Balls Deep.
There was another band in town called Just the Tip, and we wanted to upstage them. So that was my band. I fronted that band. It was fun, and I learned a lot of lessons about, running a band and playing with a group. I had a drummer friend, this crazy kid, my homie Franz. He taught me how to play the funk, and that was my life for most of college. And I was a funk band front man, and I started at that time to sort of get into like the jam band scene, and because that's really big in the Northeast is the whole jam band scene, Lettuce and Soul Live, all those groups are huge up here. So it was a really sort of easy, like, boom. And college, I'm going to say this is for if there's musicians out there. I know there's a lot of musicians that practiced a lot in college and stuff. I practiced some things that maybe aren't necessarily only in the practice room. I practiced a lot of different things. So I had a lot of really bizarro life experiences that prepped me for what was to come next, which was New York.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to SUNY New Paltz, State University of New York at New Paltz. And should I go to you want me to go from there? You want me to talk about coming from there to there? Or?
Either one, man. It's your world, brother. I really want to know, how'd you get the name Silky? That's what I want to know. I think you said that's where Silky became. I want to know where Silky comes from.
So back in my college days, I started to, throw the typical keggers, and we would get, the band would play, we'd have DJs, and we'd have kegs, and we'd get stopped by, they were good parties because they always got broken up by the cops. So
that's how you gauge a good party.
That's how you gauge a good party. Yeah. And that's when I really started to cement the style, because I had a very rocker style. And then, you're from Houston, so I'm going to be, and then you went to college in Atlanta. So I'm going to say this very nicely. Upstate New York is freaking freezing. So all of a sudden I needed to start keeping warm in the winter. And one winter, I had a friend who had a thrift store, was going out of business, and she had my friend Rick Birmingham's big fur, the original OG fur. So I started wearing that around, and I built like a whole look. I believe the look was 70s yeehaw Jew space pimp was what somebody described it as.
70s yeehaw Jewish space pimp.
I used to wear like a big leather cowboy hat and this fur coat and bell bottoms is what I used to wear.
Bruh. And it's interesting because Erica asked me earlier, she was just like, this guy who's on your podcast, like, he looks like a pimp. I was like, that's exactly who he is. He's a pimp of the funk.
Yes. That was the objective back in those days. So I started to wear weirder and weirder stuff, and around right before the time I moved to New York, I had for a long time, and now I'm giving myself away, I had gone by the title Space God for a long time.
Space God, okay.
Space God was my old rock title, as people knew me.
Is that how you introduced yourself?
I had a song called Space God, and I would yell, "I am a space god" in the middle of the song. Yeah, I was out there, man. This is before drugs too, so.
Wow.
So when I had gotten this golden, like, sort of polyester disco shirt, and I had gone to a party. My good friend Damien, shout outs to Damien Action Jackson, great guitar player, good friend of mine. Oh, he saw me. He's like, looks like the Silky Savage is here. So I was like, Silky, I like that, and I took it, and I went from there. So that's
like, listen, however you got there, bro. I'm glad that you finally got there, because I cannot imagine introducing you as Misha's Space God Savage.
Oh boy,
that's just a bad name.
It was a different time.
Trey says, hearing Silky's description of his costume, I began to think about Dan Aykroyd as Dr. Detroit.
Oh my God! Wow. Yes. It was definitely sort of in that realm. I had a pretty, have you ever seen the show? Have you ever seen 30 Rock?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how Jack talks about, there's that one episode where he talks about power clashing.
I haven't watched it that much to know episodes.
There's an episode where he talks about power clashing, and he would wear like stuff that was aggressively unmatched, but he would call it quote unquote power clashing.
I like that.
So it was sort of, there was some stuff that I wore that was, shall we say, not well coordinated.
The clashing of the power. It was a power struggle.
It was it was a power struggle. That's the best way to put it. And I used to wear bells. I used to wear like a lot of paisley shirts. That was my big thing. And yeah, that was my whole vibe.
Bro, it fits you though, man. It fits you. It definitely fits you. And so you talked a little bit too. You said something, and you touched on it. You said you went to a guitar camp, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's where you met Alex, right?
That is where I met Alex. I met Alex.
Listen, I love to make these connections real time. If we can make them. Alex was my second guest on the 60. Well, he was my fourth guest, third or fourth, one of them. I can't remember. Third or fourth guest on 6 Degrees podcast. So, yeah.
Yes, that is where I met Alex Williams. He was a great guitar player back then too. So go figure.
Yeah, and he was having some questionable style back then as well. As we saw from his song for that pictures. But hey, look, we've all been there. You don't get to the greatness without going through the muck.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, so listen, so you've definitely you've had a lifetime of music. And I didn't want to do this, but this is something that I do on the other show, Free Agents Podcast, which airs each and every, now we move to Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe I forgot that quickly. I should have wrote this down. I swear somebody's going to see this and they'll tell me hopefully before the show's over. Anyway, we play a game called Pick a Side. And so it's just about getting out of your head and owning your shit. And so I just wanted to ask you a pick a side question. And it relates totally to this. But I know this, you might have some internal conflict with this, and I'm really hoping to see and hear what that internal conflict is. And so pick a side. We'll start off really light. Red or blue?
Oh God, it's tough at the outset. I'm gonna go with red.
Awesome. So here's the thing with Pick a Side. You don't get to explain unless someone asks you. Unless someone in the chat asks you to explain, you don't get to explain. Cool. I'm gonna go with red as well. Cool. Pick a side. Fur or silk?
Fur.
I say silk.
Ah.
Pick a side. And this is the last question. Disco or funk?
Oh.
Internal conflict begins now.
Oh, why would you do that? Ugh, I hate that. I'm gonna have to go with funk, as much as it pains me.
Here's the good thing. You get to explain this one because I really want to know why the funk, how the funk sits in you, and why you just go so hard. And something in me told me that you were gonna pick funk.
Well, I had to when I thought about that question, I had to think, all right, if I'm gonna pick disco, it's because of Chic. But when I think about Chic, the reality is even Nile Rodgers will be like, it was dance funk. And I'm going to have to say the funk because it is the kernel upon which all of the other dance styles, save most of the Caribbean stuff that I love, are grounded in. So hip hop, disco, UK garage, any of the club styles that I love are grounded in funk. I like Kadre's answer, disco or funk. How about both? But I also want to say funk because there's a reality about disco is honestly, I think, only emotionally for some people. Not everybody can get down with disco, but the funk, I think, is because of how deeply rooted it is in literally everything that we listen to now. I think it's very difficult to get away from. You could get away from disco, but you can't hide from the funk.
Absolutely. Eric says funk all day. Yes, I agree with you, bro. So talk to me a little bit about, since we're talking about funk, talk to me about the Saturators, man.
Okay, so the Saturators, that's a good question. Saturators is a group that I founded with a couple of cats back in 2015. I could give you you want the whole spiel? I'll give you the
just this talk, just whatever, man. This is
okay.
Listen, we're here. We're here to have conversation.
We're family, boy, chick.
Come on.
So the Saturator started back in 2015 because it was sort of my first venture after my college band sort of dissipated. Everybody left the area. I started it. It was originally just supposed to be a backing band for this hip hop jam, Funkaholics Anonymous. And it was essentially like myself, this drummer that I had met at Swiss Chris's jam, Sway, and our good friend, Mr. Wills.
I worked on some stuff with Swiss Chris.
Did you ever meet Sway?
I don't think I ever met Sway.
So Swiss, yes. Oh, big up Swiss Chris. Oh man, he's fantastic. Kind of a nut. I like that guy. So we started this
quick story about Swiss Chris. I met him the first time I met him. When did I meet him? I was working on some stuff with Rafa. Did you ever meet Rafa? Or you just met Rafa? Well, I was working on some stuff with Rafa before he moved to Florida. And he was like, yo, I'm coming around your way. I'm linking with this dude, Swiss Chris. And I was like, okay, cool. So I go to his house. He doesn't live too far from me, actually. And I think I walked over there. And it was a nice walk, but it wasn't too far. Anyway, so I get over there and we're chilling, working on some stuff. And we just vibe, bro. He was just a cool ass dude. And he was the first person since I moved to New York to just give me weed. And ever since that, bro, I swear, I don't smoke a whole lot, but that lasted me. It shouldn't have lasted me that long, but it was a ton. It was a lot. He was just like, yo, man, here, take it. Here, I just got some. He just put it in something and gave it to me. I was like, thank you. And yeah, man, Shouts out to Swiss Chris.
He used to do the routine with like the light up drumsticks. That was his shtick.
Ah,
yes. So Swiss Chris, he had a jam session at, of course, Meridian 23. And I met this drummer there, this kid, Sway, who's nasty. And then we started a group with Wilbert, our good friend, Mr. Will Sachs.
yes. Will.
He'll be here at some point to clown me.
I'm sure he will. He can't resist.
Yes.
He can't stay away too long.
And he and I linked up with one of my friends from college, this guy, Crimdella. I think he goes by Black Zeus X on IG. And Crimdella was a friend of mine through my friend Terrell, who was a rapper that I knew from college. And I got connected through him and his crew, the Black God Pantheon. And that's where my idea for Funkaholics Anonymous started, where it was like, all right, I'm going to take all of these rappers' songs, arrange them for live band, and we're going to play them. And that was that. So that's when I first put together that band. And I started just throwing jam sessions at Harlem. And I had some balls. I just like did it. There was no thought. I wasn't thinking, no, I'm going to brand it. I just wanted to put something together. So that's how I started up this jam session. And probably the second month we were there at Silvana, I had our good friend Red Oz, and he was brought on to do features for my friend Paco, who had a song called BQE Ride, and Red did the vocal hook on that song. So as soon as we met Red, we were like, this is the guy, Yeah. And at the same time, my good friend Theo Moore, the conga player, we call him Theo. He was just coming through because he lived in the neighborhood, and he was like, yo, can I bring my congas? I'm like, yeah, sure. I love percussion,
Of
course. And so I just started, playing music, and I tried to essentially start a band with that group of people, and like Will's keyboard player and Woolly Mammals at the time, this kid Andrew, and we had a bunch of, it's one of those classic stories, like 10 million different lineups, within the first year.
It always happens like that until you settle on something.
Yes. And
it feels like once you even settle on something, that has a shelf life as well.
Yep. And at that time, so for that first year, like I was trying to do stuff with Will. I don't know if you remember Noelle Simone Whippler.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she does like the whistle tone thing.
Yeah, man. We toured together because it was me, this band out of Philly called Ill Fated Natives, and V Ferg.
Yep.
Tour. And so she came along with V Ferg, and we did 3 cities. We did Haymarket at Alex's old place where he grew up. We did New York, and we also did DC as well, and Philly.
So yeah, Noelle was in the group for a little bit. We tried it out. It didn't work. We eventually got Red in there and I started to try and write stuff and put things together. Will left the group in October to go focus on Wooly, and I hooked up with my boy I'm on the Flymon, who's recommended to me by the Jet Lingett.
Yeah. Shouts out to Jet.
Big up Jet, who he was like, you got to talk to this guy. He's the guy. So this is a Berkeley bass player, and he came into the fold. And I had my boy, our good friend, Holly G, who was introduced to me through I'm On. That's how I linked up with Colin. And his friend Matt Campo would play keys for us. So we sort of cemented this lineup. And we also had this woman, Jen Nascimento, playing hand percussion and singing. So I was flirting with a lot of different stuff. And we recorded some stuff at the beginning of that year, but I dragged my feet on the release, and it took like a year for me to release it. And then, so something sort of interesting happened kind of in the middle. Like I didn't have a great strategy. I don't know if I ever came up with a fantastic one, but
yeah, that's the hardest thing to do, man. Because
yeah,
it's hard to just come up with it and then stick to it.
yes. Especially if you're still trying to write and find your sound, like you don't even know what it is. So a sort of a curious thing happened is, like, I want to say back in 2017 or 2018, maybe. No, it was when was it? Now I'm going to sound really old. It must have been 2016, 2017. I started to do these brass band gigs at this beer hall in Williamsburg called Radagast. So Radagast, for the unacquainted, oh boy, you want to talk about white girl wasted? That's
Radagast.
That's Radagast.
This sounds like a white girl wasted place.
That is a brunch yuppie crowd, and I loved it. It was fun. We made money. We would dance on the tables, go around with a tip bucket, and I just hired like 10 million different brass players to do whatever the repertoire was.
Yeah.
And eventually, I had this idea because I was playing with Red, and he was in this other band called Bombrastico. Bombrastico had my friend Mark Navy and my buddy Dan Lenner, and also my good friend Carter Yasutake and Jason Tisu. And one day I just decided, this brass band thing is really fun. Like, why don't I try this out with the Saturators crew? So that's when and this was sort of at the beginning of, I want to say 2018, I put together this group that was like sort of a core lineup of those guys, my friend Angel, and who had me in his Afrobeat band. And I put together this group that had these two horn players. Who's the drunkest person you've seen at Radagast? Oh, Will's on here. Here it comes.
Will's in the building.
Yeah. Drunkest person I've seen at Radagast. That's a difficult one. Maybe Red.
Shouts out to Red.
I'm kidding, but I don't know. It depends. It depends on how late after. Not Red. I've seen some drunker people than Red at Radagast. I'm not calling him out like that. But so I started to develop this sort of new sound, and we had been doing like a lot of Red's reggae joints for a while.
Yeah.
And I had the horn section, so I could write more intense arrangements. I've been arranging since college. I've been, I know how to write music and arrange for sections and stuff. So we started to develop a sound that was sort of rooted in like, all right, let's like kind of merge dance hall. We have our funk bag, and we have our like a little bit of house and a little bit of reggaeton stuff in there. So trying to merge all of these things. At the end of the day, it was all sort of based around Red. And it sort of from there, we started to get these bigger gigs through a couple of people that I knew. We started to play Brooklyn Bull. We opened for Alika. We opened for a couple of different people. Now it's all a blur. But in developing this sound, the objective sort of became, how the hell can I get people to dance? And the funk was a big part of that DNA and a big part of the persona that I created for the group. Because, there are two kinds of front people. There's the front person who is them, like they come as they are, and they are them on stage. And then there's the front person who plays a character. Okay. So some of what I do on stage is more of a character than just yes, exactly.
That's a lot.
Yes.
This is why I love having these conversations, because it's just like insight to like I know now where your starting point is on stage. And it's crazy. We've done shows and I didn't know this right here. I did not know this until just now. Crazy.
That's actually kind of the funny thing, because I'm not on the mic at Herbivore shows, I'm not going out of my way, except sometimes on 6 a.m. I go out of my way to be a character.
Out to 6 a.m. Yes, love that song.
Oh, the Whalers show was the best Saturator show. That was a crazy show. We opened for the Whalers.
That's wow. When was that?
It was at the Brooklyn Bowl, packed house. I want to say it was 2019, early 2019.
2019, before we knew about 2020. Oh, what I would do to go back to that time. And then fast forward through 12 months. Anyway, I don't want to get back there. But I asked you about Saturators because I know you recently put some music out, right?
Oh, yes.
Can you let us know about that?
So the Saturators recently dropped a joint, just a Bandcamp exclusive 420 joint called Light Up, which is our little homage to something that recently became legal in the great state of New York.
In the great state of New York, it is now legal to partake in your partakedness. And if you would like to download the song, and I know some people are going to go purchase it because that's what we do here. That's what we do here on the 6 Degrees podcast. We don't just stream it, we purchase it. You can use that link that just popped up in your chat. Click that link, and we're going to play a little bit of it for you. This is Light Up, Red and Silk featuring the Saturators. Let me make this audio better. I'm going to put this on stereo so people...
It won't be pass right through. I'd set the ground to your feet, so we do it right up.
It's gone.
So here's what happens. Sorry about that, folks. Thank you, Misha. Misha just let me know he can't hear anything. And of course you wouldn't be able to hear anything. Why? Because I pushed mute. I muted myself instead of just cutting my mic off like I normally do. I muted the whole damn sound. Anyway, here we go. This is Light Up, Red and Silk featuring the Saturators. Pass right through. I'd set the ground to your feet, so we do it right up. Oh no, pass me my lighter. And I miss a special dedication goes to each and everybody. Right now you're in the Saturators in the party. Big up all the women, them forever looking lovely. Salute to them and them, they ready fire, they wanna want it. But what we a build, we a take it over the country. Now go start it with them on your phone and you they watching. With the beat and the vibe on the drum full of percussion. And the bass and the on and the thing we play with passion. Music hit a vibe in your bone. Easy to this skanky when we there, you're not the zone. And the problem when you have that you feel living on your own. Feel it vibing on your body, make it take control. 7 to the 18, that's where we call we home. And we take it to the world until we're there, you're not your home. Saturate the squad, you know we're there in our control. But I know we are the ruler, ragamuffin squadron. So we are go, I want me say, on the pass me fire. So we have it, I want me say, so we blaze the fire. So we are go, we have it, I want me say, on the pass me fire. We have it, so we are go, I want me say, so we blaze it. If you like what you hear, hit the link in the chat. This is a Bandcamp exclusive.
Dedication to the smokers in my posse. Oh, sensation got me feeling like an army. A jubilation give us bigger to my heartbeat. Raise up your drum, we gonna smoke until the dawn speak. Haze me seeing stars, so it's time to make a wish. It's a moment we've been waiting, so it's time to take a hit. Grab a Dutch, pop, pop, everybody lit. All day we've been talking, got a non-stop flow. Sit back and recline, roll another for the show. Roll up with a J, finna let the team know. Got a blunt so thick, all that shit.
Where we up it? Where y'all go? Oh, what we say? Who the pass me fire? Say we up it. Say we up it. Oh, what we say?
Yo, Silky. Hold on, let me take this off of stereo. Otherwise, it's gonna be some feedback. I love when you spit verses. Your energy is crazy. I could see you doing this live as I was listening to it, and that last line, I was like, "Oh wow, okay, that's a fat one. That's a fat one." Yeah, man. That's dope, man. Saturators, listen, if you want to get that, I posted a link right above in the chat wherever you're watching this. You can get it. I posted the link. It looks like this. Bandcamp, www.thesaturators.bandcamp.com. Track Light Up. Go get that right now. You can pay what you wish for the song, right?
Yes.
They can pay whatever for the song. That's the beautiful part about this music nowadays. But I also wanted to share some other things. And first of all, before we share some other exclusive stuff, and we'll hold that to the end because I really like that song. We're gonna play that song out. That's what we're gonna do. But you mentioned before that some of your bandmates you were doing the jam session at Meridian 21, or there was a jam session at Meridian 23. What were you saying? You said something about Meridian 23. And I just make the other connection there because that's where the Gumbo Jam started.
Yes.
At Meridian 23. And if you've been a fan of the 6 Degrees podcast, you know about the Gumbo Jam because that is where I met, or that's the first place I met a lot of people actually, but Matt Hartnett started the Gumbo Jam. And he was guest number 2 on the 6 Degrees podcast. So really important that we make and draw these connections in real time because I think it's really dope. Just how everybody is interconnected. You know what I mean?
Yes. So the story about Matt Hartnett, as it pertains to myself, of course, is that he was like the first guy to give me just like a gig, like a pickup, like here, come play this gig, not like it's my gig, not like me setting up a gig. And the freaky thing is, my dearly departed, my good friend Jason Disu actually gave him his first gig.
Wow.
In New York. So the sort of the crazy thing was because of my friend Jay, he got that gig. So I got this gig. So, and then because of that gig, I ended up meeting my bass player. We interacted at that show. A lot of the horn players that I met were at that place. That's also the we got to bring this back for this year. Now that I think we'll be able to play gigs on our birthday again.
Shouts out, man. We did the last 2 years.
We did the last 2 years. We'll play a real show.
Yeah,
we'll play a real show.
But we did gig 2019. No, 2018. Gig 2019. Album 2020. We got to keep the momentum going, man.
Yes. So we did I did the inaugural Silk Fest. My 23rd birthday was at Meridian 23, and a lot of those people were there. They were a part of that crew. Big up to my homie Daron was in that band with his crew, Ugly Brain. But yeah, like that, I think that club was where it was an extension. One of the DJs from Bembe was one of the talent buyers there. And it was really great because finally there was this club that had good curation, that had great jam sessions. That's where Leia Rhythm, if you're familiar, started.
Yeah, I did a Leia Rhythm feature back in 2020. Matter of fact, I think it was like January.
Leia Rhythm. Miley, I was on a couple of those gigs. It started over there. It was at one point host of Freestyle Mondays. Everybody had a joint over there.
Yeah.
And it was great because it was finally this place that, all right, if you were in Harlem, all right, 23rd's not that bad. And if you were in Brooklyn, you're like, all right, 23rd's not that bad. So all of a sudden, in the most unlikely of neighborhoods, for this little window of time, like there was great music until it all kind of moved back to New Blue.
Yeah, I love that, man. I find a lot of stories happen like that. You know what I'm saying? For a time, things live in this space and then it's gone. And you rely on word of mouth or like these really cool stories of people meeting and you running into other people in other spaces that remind you of this time. I think all of us will take Arlene's, and Arlene's will hold a place in our heart like that.
Yep. Yeah. When I was just a quick aside about Arlene's. When I came to New York, I had like a corporate gig working for Sirius XM, and the difficulty with this gig is it maybe had one of the most batshit crazy schedules that you could ever give somebody, because it was like there were no assigned days off. There were like 5-hour shifts, and they could call you at any time for you to come in anytime between like 9 a.m. and midnight, and it was nutty. They wanted you to go through the ringer to prove that you wanted to be there. And I didn't make it. Obviously, it was too much for me. But the one thing that I could actually depend on was because the jam session at Arlene's always went until 4. I could depend that on Thursday night, I could get out of work, go downtown, and still be able to like catch some kind of energy, you know?
Matter of fact, you catch most of the energy after midnight at Arlene's.
Yep.
There would be times, bro, where I'd be like, man, am I going to call out of work tomorrow? Or am I going to stay here until they start letting people up? Because the energy was just, it was so thick, man.
Towards the end of it, it became tougher to get up, too.
It did. It was like, nah, bro, I don't know. But hey, it's quality control. You can't be mad at it. We're still talking about it today, years later.
Right.
Quality control. Yo, I do want to acknowledge, Kadre says, check your email, Silky. You should receive a purchase notification from Bandcamp.
Kadre, you're a mention a scholar. That's fantastic.
Dre is always going to be there. Will says, large song talking about Light Up. Yes. Kadre says that joint is on point. And of course, R.I.P. Jason Disu. Absolutely.
R.I.P. Jason Disu. My big bro.
Yeah, man. So, which leads me to some herbs talk, man. Some herbs talk. I definitely want to play this herbs joint, which is like, of course, one of my favorites. I'm sure one of your favorites. And so it's interesting because more often than not, I'm more aligned with Will's production, and Red typically is aligned with your production. However, there was this one song that just was like, immediately, it just took. And I would like to play that. Would you mind if I played that song really quickly?
Go ahead, my friend.
This song is off of the Herbivores EP. It's titled Herbivores, which you can purchase on all your sites and streaming networks, whatever you want to do. Just go listen to the motherfucker and share it with somebody. This song is called Kinda Like a Crush. Can you tell me, first of all, like, what was the lead into this? Because I want people to hear the story behind this. It's important.
This is what got me in trouble on a radio interview. Like I remember giving this spiel, and Will's like, what are you doing? The story behind this song is I was having a great day. We had gone out to go play basketball. I had a healthy breakfast.
That was the worst fucking story ever, bro.
Oh my God. It was pretty bad. But no, this is how you learn, like, when people ask you what's the story, they want to know, who'd you write the song for? You know, that's what they want.
And why? Yes.
I wrote this song on Will's keyboard after coming home one day, and it was inspired by this dancer that I had met in Israel when I was on Birthright. I thought she was fine, and she was in my mind when I was writing it. And I guess, you know, I very, very innocent. Like I'm a sleazeball, but somehow I'm like weirdly innocent about like trying to like express my feelings to girls, and like I like was thinking that I had a little bit of a crush on this girl, and I wrote it on Will's keyboard at our old apartment at 253, like all in a day. I did the whole song like in a day. It's one of those joints. I did the keys, I did the drums, I did the guitar solo like that same day. It all came together. Oh, my dad's on it. He writes nice Jewish. He was a nice Jewish girl, Dad. Yes, that's correct.
Yo, so I wanted to, and you might hear a little bit of feedback. I'm gonna mute you real quick. The next time you're heard will be after we play this song. This song is called "Kinda Like a Crush."
Feels kinda like a crush. Feels kinda like a crush. Feels kinda like a crush. Kinda like a crush. Feels 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 kinda like a. I'm into you and everything you do. And ain't no need in trying to fight it. I know you feel it too. From the way you move, that pulls me in close to you. Hearts in a race, but we're face to face, taking all my crew. What am I supposed to do? Sacrifice my pride, throw all my fears aside. Just find the words, seems easy enough. Still I'm a mess inside, and everyone can see what it is that you're doing to me. And I can't explain it, but whatever it is, I know that I like it. Feels kinda like a crush. Feels kinda like a crush. Feels kinda like a crush. Kinda like a crush. Feels kinda like a crush. Feels crush. Feels kinda like a crush. Feels kinda like a crush.
I forgot my mic was off. Yes, "Kinda Like a Crush." Love that song, man.
Yeah.
Listen, and your dad popped in. Nice Jewish girl. Yes, of course. Yes, it's Jerry is in the building. I hope he sticks around for this next part in particular. And matter of fact, you know what? We're not going to wait. We're just going to go there. We're going to go there right now. Listen, before we do this, though, I'd just like to invite, I know we got several people in here, and most of you guys have been in here the entire time. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure wherever you are, just take a minute, follow, like, subscribe. It really helps us here so that more people can see the show. And considering that we got a whole ton of content we're about to hit you with, I just want to make sure that it's getting out to the most people as possible. And we're going to start putting out the audio versions of these podcasts. They should start showing up next week. So you'll get those over the break. So we're not just going to leave you hanging. You know what I mean? But yes, this part of the show is called "There's a Song for That." Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, I'm all confused right now. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to invite you in to the VIP section. If you would like to ask myself or Misha a question, or just say something, I don't know. Tell me how much you love us or how much you hate us. Either way, you can tell us to our face right here with this link that just popped up in your chat, wherever you're watching this. Click that link and it brings you backstage to the VIP section, and we promise we will get to you. We're going to get to everybody. But this part of the show is called "There's a Song for That." "There's a Song for That" is a completely guest curated playlist from the There's a Song for That segment of the 6 Degrees podcast, created by moi and my guests. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to show you some pictures. And I dig deep, brother. I dig really deep in the vault.
I'm a little worried.
Don't be afraid. You've pre-approved all of these pictures because Zuckerberg has them. So if Zuckerberg's got them, of course I can have them. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
You know how to play this because you've seen the show before. Here we go. First, I can't start with this one. Yes, I can. I'm going to start with this one.
So it's I just say what song I associate with it.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Tell us about what's happening, and then, of course, what song you associate. Here we go. First picture.
Oh my God. Associate with that? Probably.
What's happening here? Tell us what's happening here first.
Okay, so this is. I can't believe you have this. I'm getting a little echo. I don't know.
Oh, did I? Hold on. If I didn't take it off of.
Is that better? Better. Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
You should be good now.
Yes. So this is probably when I was a baby at our house in Newington. My dad had like a little Casio. Yeah. Oh my God. When I think, I guess I'm gonna have to just default back to. Do you remember that Jock Jam song? Y'all ready for this? So my if you notice the shirt that my pops is wearing in that picture, he was a DJ on Kiss 95.7, and at the time, Eurodance was a big thing. Yes. So when I think about being a little boy, maybe also, I guess, Home on the Range, because that was a song my dad used to sing to me when I was that age.
Really?
Yes, Home on the Range.
Whose version should I choose? Home on the Range. I'm sure there's tons of versions out there.
I don't even.
It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna pick the original.
Yeah, go for the OG.
Danielle says, "Oh, too cute."
What happened?
This is cute. Look at him, young Silk. Look at him. Kadre says, "You are the sunshine of my life" by Stevie Wonder. And Will, of course, says that's going in the photosynthesizer's promo campaign folder. Listen, if we have gems like this for everybody, people are going to have to buy the music. They're going to have to. All right, here we go. Ready for the next one? I can't hear you.
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, okay. Cool. Next photo. Bam.
Ooh. For this one, this is Return of the Mac, baby.
Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac.
In this photo, man.
Do you want the story of the photo or?
Of course.
Okay, so this is an interesting photo because it was taken about a week before the lockdown. I was at a friend's birthday party at this place called the Family in Bed-Stuy, and they had a photo. It was at a photo. The birthday party was at their photo studio, so they let me take a promo shot.
That's dope.
of the eternal stank face.
Yeah, man, I love this photo, man. This is you all day. This is like, bitch, I got my fur on. Don't talk to me right now.
Yes. either Return of the Mac or what's the song by Warren G? Why am I spacing?
Regulator?
Regulators. Yes.
Regulators.
Regulators.
I like that one too. Yes. You about to regulate on somebody. Next photo. Here we go. These two go together. They have if you didn't notice yet, Misha is Larry Bird. You never see the two of them in the same room. There's a reason.
Yes.
There's a reason.
Woo!
Yo, bro, the resemblance is insane, man. First of all, let's just acknowledge that.
Oh my God. Oh,
Thank you, Coco Blossom. She says she loves it. I have such interesting guests on the show. I guess you're interesting, Misha.
Oh, finally, a little validation. Thank you, Coco. That's a good one that Kadre put in. I think Skilo. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Good one. That's a good one.
Yes.
Skilo. I wish. Yeah, man.
Yes. Big up Larry Legend.
Larry Legend.
Larry Legend.
Next photo. Here we go. Now, first of all, when I saw this photo, I was like, this explains it all. This explains everything. I don't find it like I don't. It makes so much sense for your dad and Weird Al to be in the same room. First of all, it just does. I feel like they would connect. I feel like they have great rapport. I feel like they have drinks. Yeah, and then you're there, and you got this energy put into you at such a young age. Makes so much sense, man.
Oh my God, yes, that's me with Weird Al, probably 93. So yeah, that for this one we actually got to give up a Weird Al song. So I'm gonna put in Amish Paradise.
Been spending, yes.
He's had so many hits throughout the years. That's the beauty of Weird Al. He's just like, because he's a parody musician, he can always be relevant.
Always. That was very smart. Kadre says, soon I will be a Jedi.
Yes. It's relevant because my dad is also the one who got me into Star Wars. Major Baby Yoda energy, I see.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Child.
And Will also says Kadre nailed it.
Woo. You picked some good ones, man.
Kadre's always got the best ones, man. Always. Never fails. All right, here we go. Next photo. I think we got a couple more.
Oh my God. So taken, of course, at the Herbivores photo shoot earlier this year. Absolutely. I somehow find a way to just be grumpy at literally everything. So, but I'm wearing the disco shirt. Let me think. This is a tougher one. I'm gonna go. Let me think. I'm trying to think if that's something that would be like you guys are all happy about, and then I'm not happy about. Kirk Franklin.
Which
somebody in the comments. I don't know his. I don't know his set. Good times.
Good time. No, that's not. What's good times? What's good times? Not by the Jacksons.
Oh wait, isn't that Chic? Good times.
I don't know. I have. Oh, Misha says that's what, or Will says that's what happens when you don't eat. Yes,
right.
You get grumpy, or when you're Misha, you just get grumpy. All right, we'll come back to this one. Next photo.
What? You got this one? Okay. I'm getting a little feedback.
Really?
Sorry.
All right, let me fix that. Let me correct that.
So this is probably one of the only times. This is a long time ago. This is me and my grandparents and all of the cousins on my mom's side of the family at the Cape. So as you can see, I am being cradled by the effervescent Lynn Faber. Yeah, my siblings are there. I'm sitting next to my cousin. Oh, Kadre nailed it. Yeah, "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge. That's a perfect one. I would probably say because it was this time period and because I'm sure we were listening to this at the time, "Everybody Dance Now" by CNC Dance Factory.
Everybody dance now.
Yep.
Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. CNC. Woo. Yeah, that's a good one, man. Everybody's listening to that song back then.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I think we got a couple more, maybe. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. What happened? Where did it go? Where did it go? There we are. Okay, here we go. Next photo.
Let's see. Woo!
First of all, let's just look at this sexy guy right here. Look at all the sex appeal. Look at it. Look at that. Let's zoom in right here. Look at him. He got his nipples out. Look at this guy. Who is this guy?
Oh boy, that was Beach Fest 2010. That was the local beach party that all the high school bands played at in my town when we were kids. Flanked, of course, by my buddy Jesse Neefsey and my homie Chris Adams. For this one, I'm gonna go with. There are so many good ones. I'm gonna go for. I'm trying to think of the Black Sabbath song that's in my mind, but Lanty says Space God. Yes, this is Space God era Misha. Let's go with Motorhead, Ace of Spades. That would have been the song at that time. You chose well, Amir.
Hey, man, listen, I come with that action, bro. I come with that action. Kadre said "Holding Back the Years" by Simply Red. Interesting choice, Kadre. I think that's it. Nope, there we go.
Oh, this is great. So
shouts out to Ben.
Yes, Ben Golden. I hope you're good, buddy. We have to get a beer soon. So this was at his birthday in Memphis last year. Pardon me. I'm saying last year. I mean 2019. Yeah. Sorry. I keep doing that. So this was at his wedding. I still had the mustache at the time. And the cool thing about this wedding is he actually hired like a band that like was good. Like they were like sick and really funky. And it was some of the members of the Bar-Kays were in the band. So I'm going to go with Holy Ghost by the Bar-Kays for this one.
Holy Ghost.
Funny story about this wedding. I was in the wedding party and one of the family members was like in cahoots with like the whole group of the bridesmaids to get weed. And what happened was they gave the weed to me instead of the bridesmaids party. And so apparently the whole bridesmaids party was like, what the fuck? Like when they went up to the guy, they gave me like a whole shit ton. And I was like, oh, I got to smoke this before I fly out tomorrow. So by the end of the night, like my dad's like, what?
You didn't even share with him. That's why he's saying that.
That's true. I didn't share. You should share with your dad.
You should.
So I'm smoking weed with like the band in the dressing room and stuff. And then at the end of the night, everybody's like, what the fuck, Misha? Stole all the weed at that wedding.
Well, did they know that before now?
No, they figured it out by the end of the wedding.
Oh, okay. Kadre says, get lucky. Okay. You should have gotten lucky, bro. If you had all the bridesmaids looking for the weed and you had the weed. Come on, man. The universe was conspiring to make you a happy man.
I also have to put in the other song, called I Want Your Love by Chic, because story behind that is I made it weird, and with one of the bridesmaids, and I called up Will, and he starts going, "You made it weird. You made it weird."
That is hilarious. You made it weird. Will says mustache Misha. Listen, the stash, man, you do the stash well. You really do. I must say. You own it. You own it. You own it. Last one. Oh, no, this is one more. We have one more after this.
Okay, so this is summer 2019 when I was still playing with the Afrobeat group. No longer with that group, but I'm going to go with JJD by Fela Kuti. So sort of a funny story is when I first came to New York, I linked up with this dude, Kaleta, who used to play with Fela Kuti back in the 80s. And I was super I still am. I love Fela. I still love that music. It's fantastic. And Angel was one of the only cats to like have the balls to like put together an Afrobeat band, because who wants to pay 10 people?
Right.
So yeah, that would have been from summer 2019, and either an original or it would have been JJD. JJD by Fela Kuti.
Nice. And last picture. We're gonna take it out on a bit of a sentimental note here. Let me stop this share and let me share this one. No, not that one. This one right here.
Okay, so this was the last gig I did before the pandemic, and it was at the Sultan Room for I think it was the That House Party show. So this is me with my big bro Jason Disu, and I actually have that. He gave me this maraca, this funny bastard. He said it was from he's from Nigeria, and his family is, and he gave me this. He was like, it's from Africa, and it says Puerto Viejo on it. I'm like, bro, this is from Costa Rica. He's like, well, a lot of stuff comes that way. I'm like, bro, so it went across the ocean and then all right, whatever. But he was giving it to me as a gift. Jason, so for Jay, he was a monster, dude. He played with everybody. He played with he played with every salsa band in the city. He played with half of the hip hop bands in the city, and then he would take massive gigs. He was on 4433, the LCD Sound System record. He was on that big show that they played at MSG. He was on tour with Bonobo. He was a monster. He was a big brother to me. Like, he sort of shepherded me when we were building the band. He helped me build the iteration of the Saturators that was. And this was really like our last gig in front of people together. I miss him a lot, and I think about him every day. For those of you who are watching the show, Jason, the trombone player, was a member of the Sats, and he unfortunately passed away suddenly about 2 months ago now. And he was just such a massive, massive presence, and he worked his ass off. He was one of the hardest working musicians in the city. And, I owe a lot to him, and a lot of my heart to him. And I'm grateful that I'm going to have the ability to share so much music that we got to record of his. So the song I actually want to give to him is the song I Got a Feeling by Midnight Magic. He was in a group called Midnight Magic with my good friend Carter Yasutake. That's one of the best, if not the best, disco bands in New York. Just flat out. Their song "Beam Me Up" is sort of world famous, and it was just remixed by Razor and Tape, so you can check that out. Not Razor and Tape, sorry. It was the 10-year anniversary of it, so they put out a bunch of remixes. It was famous because they had a Jacques Renault remix, but yeah, Jay was a fucking powerhouse. Thank you for sharing this picture, man. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely, brother. Well, listen, that concludes this iteration of There's a Song for That. You can subscribe to the Spotify playlist or follow the playlist and whatever you do to playlists right here, posting it in the chat right now. If you click that link, it'll take you over to the playlist. And we'll update it. We're going to update it before the weekend. So it'll have all the songs from this season on there added to it. And listen, the songs don't go together, but as you listen to them, it brings back fond memories, especially for me, of just the times that we've had together here on the 6 Degrees podcast. And before we take it out, man, I want you to, well, first of all, I want to give Kadre a chance to pop in here. Kadre, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, brother. All right, thumbs up. And as Kadre is in here, I'm going to also post this link one more time if there's anyone who would like to pop in to the VIP section back here and like Kadre is about to do, and just chat with us face to face. You can do that if you use that link that just popped up in your bio or in the chat. And Kadre, you are on this podcast, sir. What's up, man?
Man, oh man. So this is the official season closing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, what a wonderful way to close the season out. Man, Misha, Silky.
Kadre,
man,
my guy.
Yes, sir, man. I love those pictures, man. So yeah. And the fur. That fur coat. Right on.
Listen, the fur speaks for Misha. Misha doesn't have to talk. He can just put the fur on, and it's just what it is.
Man, when it's safe to to do live performances in, man, you gotta come out here and do something like at the House of Blues or at my boys, or at my homie's place, High Volume Music.
Say less, man. We're there. I'm ready.
Yeah. So yeah, you, Bel-Ami, of course, always. So yeah. So and I love the new song. I will be jamming that bad boy for sure.
Yes.
So yeah. And I will be telling my god brother about it. My god brother, he's from the he's from St. Croix. And so he a lot of times he would introduce me to some of the new reggae and dancehall artists and everything. So
dope,
so,
man.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for picking it up, man.
Yes, sir. So yeah.
Listen,
I'll share it with them. I will push for people to buy it.
Kadre's the man. Look, Kadre, when we dropped the Herbivore stuff, he sent me screenshots of his purchase on iTunes. So
yeah.
And whatever comes out, listen, he always shows love. He purchases.
Yep.
It's a great time to let people know that on Friday, first Friday of the month, Bandcamp does a revenue share. So if people want to get it.
Russell was telling us about that on Sunday. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, so like for artists that I know about that have a Bandcamp page or have their own websites or whatever, those are the sites that I'm actually going to start going to first. So yes, just so that I could purchase the music directly from the artists.
Man, could you get a better friend, Amir? This Kadre's my new hero.
If we had a world full of Kadres, we would have zero problems.
Zero. Oh wow.
All love. Be all love. Kadre, man, thanks for popping in as always. Love you, bro. We're gonna send you back so we can get up out of here soon, but you can hang around and we'll wrap it up at the end.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Look,
thank you, Kadre.
And who I'm sure we both knew this would happen, Misha.
I knew it would happen.
Will, what's good, brother?
I'm really happy that Duke decided to follow me into my studio.
Of course.
This was a last minute decision to pop in here. Lanty and I were actually lurking through the whole time. I just decided to pop in and troll in the comments a little bit. Misha, how are you feeling?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I was too busy ignoring you yesterday.
Yeah, we need to talk about this. I don't think everyone knows, and this might actually be the best time for me to talk to Misha about this since he can't hang up. But we haven't talked about a crucial dimension of Misha, which is Misha does not love to cook food. No, sir. No. And we actually filmed him cooking a few meals.
In all fairness, you and Lanty are great cooks.
Regardless, it was rice. It was rice. Okay.
Listen, rice is not easy for people who can't cook.
Amir can be a guest on this show.
Honestly, all right. So let me cut to the chase. I got an Instagram message yesterday saying, "We would love to cast you for Worst Cooks in America. Do you have a pair?" So I don't know if Jerry's still here. If Jerry's still here, I think
he is.
Jerry and Misha would be the single most marketable pair of worst cooks in America.
I don't know what this cooking prowess is, but if it's anything like yours, I'm sure America will love you.
I believe my father has described himself as a microwave chef in the past, so there you go.
Well, can we get Jerry to pop in here and defend his honor? Because if he's here, he has the link. Jerry, you don't even need to come on video. We just need to talk to you.
He's in the comments. I know that.
I want to know.
It's easy to order. It's easy to order, which is, hey, look, especially if 2020 taught us anything, it's easy to order.
It is easy to order.
He said I taught Misha how to knife.
Yeah. Well, this would be like, come on, that's marketable television. It's Food Network, Jerry.
She's laughing. Carmen's laughing at your microwave chef comment. Yo, Will, thanks for popping in, bro.
I love you both.
Here, love you back, man. Peace. Yeah, man. Before we go, I want to talk about what other than Savage Kitchen, which maybe we'll just have to talk about that another time.
Yes,
but I definitely want to talk about this other thing you got going, and I wanted to play something from it really quickly, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Hopefully this will play without being choppy. I don't know. Let's see. Bam.
Nasty, hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's up? What's happening? Bitch, I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, movie, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening?
Beam me up, beam me up, beam me up, beam me up, beam me up. Beam me down, beam me down, beam me down, beam me back down.
So, what were we looking at just now? Can you tell us about that?
The promotional reels for my Thursday night live stream show, Sex and Disco.
Sex and Disco.
Sex and Disco.
Sex and Disco?
Yes.
Sex and Disco.
Carmen, my TikTok handle is at the Silky Savage. So Sex and Disco is a show I started back last year, sort of mid-pandemic, and I put it down, and then I restarted it about a month ago. Sex and Disco is a show that is reminiscent of my early days in radio, where I will play a bunch of disco classics. I'll play house music, I'll play funk music, I'll play soul music, and I will interview a couple of different artists from my roster of wonderful people about life, relationship, ratchetness, what their place in music, the sensuality in music, and it airs every Thursday night on Twitch at 9 p.m. We've had Red Oz, we've had my good friend Naboa, we've had Olivia K from Olivia K and the Parkers on thus far, and I believe a certain someone will be on there tomorrow night.
Oh wow, who is that?
Mr. Bel-Ami.
Oh wow, that is so cool. Yes, I'm gonna be on Sex and Disco tomorrow night. It's gonna be fucking amazing.
9 p.m. on Twitch. So if you're watching this from YouTube or Facebook, you will have to tune in on Twitch because otherwise they will mute the music.
And if you need links for that, I just posted it in the chat. You can click on any one of those links and it'll take you to, actually the first link will take you to Misha's Twitch page, Twitch, _Silky_Savage. Second link is to his Facebook. And the last link is to his website. Follow him there. Also, if you click this link right here, this will take you to his Instagram page. And we all got IG pages. We know how the algorithms work. Listen, in order to book shows sometimes, you got to have followers. Crazy. They don't care about
what a thought.
They care about the followers. Anyway, so use that link right there, right now. Go follow Misha right now. Yeah, I'm going to be a guest tomorrow. It's so cool that we get to do this, for each other, man. And we'll switch seats tomorrow night. You'll be the host. I'll be getting asked questions. So interesting dynamic. That's why I was like, I have to be nice to him tonight.
You didn't have to.
I know. I just myself.
You've been gentle, which I appreciate. We leave the tough stuff for on the stage.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Kadre says, I too am a Twitcher. Cool. Kadre will definitely be on there. Trust me. He gonna be on your show supporting tomorrow night. Dope. Yes.
Leave the tough stuff for Will. We just got in that chat. Yep.
Facts. And with that, Sex and Disco on the mind, I just wanted to take us out with this other track that you have. I want to thank everyone for being a part of this. I guess it's really elongated first season that just took like 2 weeks off. I don't know what that was supposed to be, what I thought I was doing. But thank everybody for just your consistent support and for just being here and giving us an audience. So we're not talking to ourselves. Couple ways that you can support. One, follow on IG at 6D Podcast. There's this cool little thing that they have called CashApp and Venmo. And if you use those, magically money will appear in my account. And I can use that to make sure I pay for these platforms so that we can continue having these shows. Also, make sure you follow. There's a song for that playlist on Spotify. And if you just want to find out more information about what's going on here, I'm going to put this link in the chat. This is a link to a physical representation of the 6 Degrees Podcast network of guests. It's a Prezi document. You can click on it anytime you want. I'm going to update it soon over the break to include all the guests from this second half of this season. But yeah, with disco on the mind. Oh, first of all, thank you. Just thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Misha, thank you for coming on here and closing us out this season. This has been a fun show, to say the least.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, come on, man. I couldn't do this without you. You're part of my story. So, yeah, I have to have you on here. Any parting words for the people?
I want to thank everybody who tuned in, made some jokes, and enjoyed the show. I want to thank my good friend Amir, BelAmiMusic, for having me on the show. And and I'm just so excited to be here and enjoying you guys. And the last thing I want to big up, ironically, like we didn't talk that much about the herbivores tonight.
We didn't.
So we're gonna have to save that for the full herbivore when we get everybody on.
Exactly. That's coming. It's gonna be incredible too. I want to do that one in person too.
Yes. So I want to big up the Herbivores crew, the Saturators crew, and the one thing I'm going to say before you play this track is this is an exclusive tune that is not out yet, but will be coming out shortly. And if you dig it, let me know. If you don't dig it, don't let me know. But I hope it encourages you to leave the house.
Exactly. And with that, this song is called Leave the House. Listen, we're just going to be on here jamming. If you want to get up and dance, which I know you will, please do. Because that's what Misha makes this music for. It's for us to dance and enjoy ourselves. So do that.
Digital love has taken over.
making this the place to be each and every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here, we're gonna pick it back up in July. Until then, goodbye. Love each other. That worked out perfectly. He said goodbye as soon as I said until then. So we're just gonna leave it like that, y'all. Peace. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to click things so that they can go away. Peace, y'all.